person who always seems to get things done effortlessly, finishing hour-long tasks in 30 minutes, and it's easy to brush it off as robotic. But there's a lot you can learn from their habits. And just as a preface, as much as I would like to say that I'm a highly productive person, in all honesty, I'm working on it. But from asking questions to the most productive people I know, reading articles, checking out books, and trying it for myself, I've put together the best advice I could find. Hi, my name is Laksan, and I'm a volunteer at the Brampton Library Youth branch. And today I'll be your guide as we go through these 7 tips and tricks. So tip number 1, set goals. Goal setting is one of the most common starting points to becoming more productive. And while many do set goals, often those goals don't do much good. Because if you simply focus on checking off to-do items, you'll typically spend a day on easy, less important work. So instead, spend a few minutes at the start of your day selecting 1 to 3 most important tasks that you must complete by the end of the day. And the Eisenhower matrix can help with this. Start by making a 2x2 square. On one side, write important and not important, and on the other side, write urgent and not urgent. This helps eliminate tasks that are simply aren't worth the hassle. Tip number 2, break down tasks. So often you put off work because it feels too daunting. The scope and specificity are too broad. But by breaking it down into smaller and specific tasks, it's easier to feel more motivated to just do them. For example, if I had a to-do item labeled Make TeenTalk, it's easy to put it off since there's so much involved in that process and a variety of places where I could start. Instead, my to-do list would be read the top Google search results on keywords about productivity, ask questions to the most productive people I know, brainstorm other methods, organize the main ideas into talking points using bullet points, jot down any specific thoughts on each tactic, go through each bullet point and flesh them out, organize into one cohesive script and edit, and wait a couple of days and revisit for a final edit. And the last point is a great practice to have, since you want to get critical of your work after you just spent hours or even days on it. So the next tip is tip number 3, make use of your resources. Now, sidetracking for just a moment, but there are great resources that you can use to help make your work better. You just need to look for them. So for example, a great resource is the Makerspace at Brampton Library. You can use it for school projects and other handy items. For example, when I lost a valve cap on my bike, I was able to measure the dimensions and use Tinkercad to 3D print a new one. And even if your design skills aren't up to par yet, you can still find useful designs to print from sites like Thingiverse. And I like to keep my desk organized, so I printed some cable organizers and a phone stand. And for me, I've never been the best at art, so typically I print parts for dioramas and models, and it saves me a ton of time, and I can rest easy knowing it'll come out well. Another valuable resource is the professional recording studio in the TeenTober branch, which is great for doing voiceovers. Tip number 4, use the 50-10 rule. No matter how many efficient habits you build, you can't maintain distraction-free focus forever. And that's why breaks are so important. Even short breaks can help you recharge your energy and creativity. So always be proactive about taking breaks and make them structured and intentional. One method I like is the Pomodoro technique, which suggests you take 25-minute blocks of work with short 5-minute breaks. And for each of these blocks, you should have a goal, allowing you to better concentrate on what's important. Personally, for me, I like doing 15-minute blocks of work with 10-minute breaks since it's easy to schedule and I have a lot more options during that break. One resource that helps me with this is a study to get a Discord channel since it has automatically set Pomodoro timers and you can connect with others. Tip number 5, create a working environment. So whether it's a living room or an office, our environments shape us as much as we shape our environments. By creating a comfortable space and only working in that area, your brain starts to associate that setting with work. That means when you try to work, your brain can easily switch tasks. And if you use the environment to watch movies, go on social media, or eat, you degrade this space and your ability to get into a working mindset. And there's a lot more to discuss about this topic, so if you're interested, I've put a link in the description for a video by CDP Grey that goes into more detail. But for me, the best environment to work in is the library. It's a wide range of shared study spaces with comfortable seating. It's such a quiet environment, and you can always find a space tailored to your preferences and needs. And if I ever need any resources, they're always right at my fingertips with access to technology, printing, and the makerspace. Tip number 6, keep a distraction list. So with text messages, emails, and app notifications, it's easy to get distracted. So it's better to have a distraction list. And you want to keep this list whether it's physical or online nearby. So write down any distracting thoughts you have on the list and return to them during your break. And if you cannot avoid distractions, you can also set app limits and monitor how much time you're spending on a website. You can do this in the settings of iOS and Android, and on PC, I prefer to use the Chrome web extension limit. Tip number 7, don't multitask. So with so much you can do, it's tempting to fall into the trap of multitasking, but my best advice is to simply stay clear of it. And research shows that people are just naturally bad at it. When we multitask, we're just changing our focus. And every time we switch, it just takes us a while to get back into the swing of things. However, it is manageable when the two tasks don't use the same parts of your brain. So for example, vacuuming while listening to an audiobook. But if you're writing an essay while trying to follow an episode of a show, your work will slow down and your quality will suffer. For me, I used to multitask a lot since I found it hard to work while listening to something. So a solution I found was to listen to lo-fi music since it doesn't contain any lyrics and helps me focus and work a lot more. And I'm not saying this will work for everyone, but try to find solutions that work for you. So to recap, here are the tips and tricks that work the best. Number 1, set goals. Number 2, break down tasks. Number 3, make use of your resources. Number 4, use the 50-10 rule. Number 5, create a working environment. Number 6, keep a distraction list. And number 7, don't multitask. Tips I've discussed today mainly boil down to 4 things. Manage your time well, make better to-do lists, and take care of yourself. And last, but certainly not least, be proactive. And with that, I bid you farewell and good luck on completing your goals. Bye!